story going to end, right? Like, this is cute, Brock Purdy, what he's doing. And I'm here to tell you, it's not going to end, right? The other shoe's not going to drop. This guy is bona fide, and let's take a look at what he did on Saturday. It was unreal. Here we are, 2nd and goal. The Niners are going to run a little play action pass. Look at him, look to the left. It's not there, a little subtle movement in the pocket. Come back and find his check down running back for a walk-in touchdown. Here, this is not the same play, I promise you. Play action pass again on 2nd and goal. Look to the left, avoid pressure, come back. Oh, this time it's Elijah Mitchell for another check down touchdown for a walk-in. Look at the young guy beating his chest. I love seeing the emotion come out of him. And here we are again in the 4th quarter. Play action pass again. They're rolling out to the left. Look at the young buck not forcing anything. It's not there. It's not there. Look at the little shimmy coming back across field. And this is the thing that he has. Oh, not so fast. And then to throw a dime in the back of the end zone. This should have been touchdown pass number 4 for the young kid. And, you know, so often young quarterbacks, I think they feel like they have to do something extra, especially in a playoff atmosphere, right? That they're not enough. And they force things and make mistakes. This kid just has this confidence about him. He trusts the system. He trusts the players around him. And I would say, and I don't think this is any stretch at all, the Niners have played 3 quarterbacks this year.
Yeah.
They look the best with him under center.
And it goes to him playing 4 years in college.
Right.
That's a guy that's played a lot of football. The guy that you just showed on film right there, doing those things, checkdowns, is a guy that's played a lot of football. And I guess that shows that if you can stick in college and put the time in, maybe something great can happen in the NFL. All right, look. QB Corner, you know what I love being with you guys out here on the beach. I think we're headed back inside. But, Susie, we've loved being out here, having everybody screaming and yelling.
And, Steve, yes, it is fun to look ahead, but come on inside because it's fun here, too. Tonight, what a matchup to wrap up a truly super wild card. Kicks off next weekend on CBS, Fox, and NBC. On Saturday, it's Jaguars-Chiefs at 4:30 Eastern, followed by Giants-Eagles at 8:15. On Sunday, the Bengals face the Bills at 3, and the winner of our game faces the Niners at 6:30 Eastern. For more on these matchups, let's send it out to our guys in the QB corner. Little Trevor Lawrence and Patrick Mahomes, guys.
All right, Susie. Hey, the vibe out here is so good. We decided to keep QB corner out here at the beach rather than going on the field, so we'll take the extra time. Robert, I want to talk about Trevor Lawrence for a second. Have you ever seen a playoff quarterback throw 4 picks?
Never.
4 picks, and then say, you know what, enough of that, and then throw 4 touchdowns to come back and win a football game? That is madness in my mind.
Yeah, it's something I've never seen, and it was a nightmare start for the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence, but he grew up in the fire on the spot. You're going to see right here, this first interception, Tampa 2, the cover 2 corner, he just never sees them. Throws it right to him. Trevor Lawrence in his mind is thinking, man, I'm reading with my feet. I'm doing everything coach is telling me to do, but I'm not coming away with the results. Right here, they have bad spacing on a through and dagger concept. Asante Samuel Jr. once again, interception by Trevor Lawrence. But he didn't freak out in that moment. What he did is he went right back to his basics, and he came back in the second half and threw 3 touchdowns. One of them right here to Zay Jones on like a crossing pylon concept, wide open for a touchdown. And then to show you just how confident he is, even after throwing 4 picks, he makes this dime of a throw to Christian Kirk on the sideline right there by the pylon. Trevor Lawrence proved that he can take the Jags all the way to the Super Bowl if need be by the way he came back and didn't blink at the first sign of adversity.
That sounds like Patrick Mahomes could pull that off. Is about the only guy. They see each other this weekend. The other game, Bills-Bengals, Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. Josh Allen, we talked about his interceptions. You say pour gas on it, don't care. To me, if you think about those 3 big names, who's going to go to the Super Bowl every year over the next 10 years? It's probably the quarterback that has the biggest spread between interceptions and touchdowns. And so if that's true for Josh Allen, you're going to see he has to be the guy that can figure out a way to lean in, be aggressive, let it rip, but yet avoid the kind of not the mental mistakes because you put the ball in the wrong spot. Be aggressive. Just put it in a good spot. Be aggressive. Now, Joe Burrow, on the other hand, I think is the biggest challenge for this week is going to be the offensive line struggles. And that's why against the Chiefs this year in the big game, how did they beat the Chiefs? Joe Burrow finally realized all those free yards are out there for quarterbacks to get the first down and get the touchdowns. And that's what Joe did against the Chiefs. Joe doesn't like that. I think he feels kind of, I know I'm above it in some ways. I'm not going to go out there and run around. I can do it without it. But I think deciding himself that I'm going to go get those extra yards in a big playoff game could be the difference. All right, and then we And then we've got Brock Purdy.
And then
hold on, Alex. Just think about this. At Thanksgiving dinner, he had never played.
Failures is going to help them come out and play with the chip on their shoulder, play with their hair on fire. And you've heard this too, Boog, as a defensive guy.
Yes.
If you're going to fail going full speed.
Yes.
That's what the Cowboys' mindset needs to be. Don't come out here and try to make and be afraid to make a mistake. Go play football.
But the problem with the Cowboys has been consistency. They're up one week, you're like, this is a Super Bowl team. They got everything. And the next week, you're like, what is this? And so to me, I go back to this Cowboys earning something, the grit, the chip on the shoulder. All these things are super important. I had an idea this week, like, take the stars off the helmet. You have to earn them. And you earn them tonight. Like, you can earn stars on your helmet, take them off, play without stars, and go. Because I think the players need to be able to say, we did this, we created this. No, Jerry Jones didn't create this. Trey Aikman didn't create this. The Cowboys didn't. America's team didn't create. We did this, and they need to own that. I think they.
But that's their identity, though, Steve. The star on the helmet is their identity. Jerry Jones.
That's a marketing thing. The players need to be able to own their own story, and that's why I say, I like metaphorically take the stars off the helmet. Those players don't get a chance to actually own their own story.
I think Jerry Jones puts more pressure on this team than the media does because of the press conference, because
100%.
Because of his aura, because of everything he does. That's a ton of pressure on the Cowboys.
Yep.
Let's flip it over to the other side, okay? The Buccaneers, Tom Brady. Do we think there's pressure on Tom Brady tonight?
Absolutely not. No, I mean, what is he making?
Did you see that?
He's making
35 wins, as many as the Dallas Cowboys
making like
in their history.
48 playoff.
Okay.
I think this, Book, he stepped away from the game momentarily.
Yes.
Right? He knows more than anybody what Steve is talking about, that this stage, right, like this is why you're doing it. And he gets to go do it one more time.
Yes.
And I think he's relishing it. This entire week, I bet you, has re-energized him. Because Tom is a guy that loves the challenge.
Yes.
Right? Like, Tom, this is why he came back, and this is why he did it. And so I don't think there's any pressure. Listen, they had a losing record. No one's expecting them to win tonight. And I a little bit think it's house money. And again, Tom gets to go let it rip one more time.
See, I'm going to disagree with you. Tom retired for 40 days. Tom came back with one goal in mind, and that goal was to win. You're talking about a guy, even though he's won 7 Super Bowls, he came back, and he sacrificed everything to come back and win. And I do mean everything. And so for him, how does he come back and go out in the first round and not look back in the offseason and say this season was a failure after everything he sacrificed? He didn't come back to get in the first round. He came back to win a championship.
Yeah.
And
what Tom would tell you, the risk is why I do.
Understand. And
the actual risk. In other words, if I lose,
yes, I understand.
I can take it.
And
the risk is whatever.
Add to that, he's had his worst season of his career.
Yeah.
So there's pressure on him to get it right tonight.
And I think what you're alluding to, Boog, is the fact that the pressure is on Tom because of Tom. He's the only one that's putting pressure on him right now. The coaches and the players, they're not really trying to get Tom one more Super Bowl.
Correct.
They're trying to get a Super Bowl while they still got Tom. If that makes sense.
Yes.
When I talked to Chris Godwin, we have a conversation that's going to be shown later. I didn't even ask him that question because the feeling was, man, we just got to get it going. We just got to get it going. They're not even thinking about this possibly being Tom Brady's last game or his last hoorah. They just want to make sure they get one more chance at a ring while they've got the GOAT on
All
their
right,
team.
Susan, we learned 2 things really important here in the QB corner. One is that there's a lot at stake tonight. And the second thing, and I'm going to repeat again, I just learned that Tom Brady has as many playoff wins as the Dallas Cowboys. I cannot fathom that statistic. That is incredible. Susie, I don't know where to go with that.
Well, how about one more note on facing pressure? Because everybody thinks of Tom Brady as the most clutch quarterback. Well, since 2016, he has 19 game-winning drives. Do you know who has exactly the same amount of game-winning drives since 2016? Dak Prescott.
There you go.
So what are we up to now? Within 90 minutes of these teams battling right out here, but it's such a crazy time in the league because we've got playoff teams and then we have teams trying to rebuild. So what do you have in coaching news?
Lots of coaching news today, Susie. The University of Michigan football coach Jim Harbaugh, who had been a candidate for the Denver Broncos job, called the Broncos today to let them know he's staying at Michigan. He's not going anywhere. So he'll be back at Michigan, and the Broncos head coaching search continues on elsewhere. Meanwhile, in the AFC West, Brandon Staley is back at work, status quo, no changes in Los Angeles at this time. Now, there are people who think that he's going to have to make changes to his offensive coaching staff, but right now, he's still in the office, still working. It looks like it's going to be that way, business as usual in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, the Denver Broncos, who didn't get Jim Harbaugh, will be meeting tomorrow morning in Los Angeles with Sean Payton, who is obviously interested in returning to the NFL, talking to Carolina, talking to Houston tonight, and the Broncos also will meet with Raheem Morris tomorrow afternoon. But maybe the busiest coach of the week is the 49ers defensive coordinator, DeMeco Ryans. In addition to getting ready for the winner of tonight's game, he's got 4 head coaching interviews set up this week, starting Thursday with Denver, talking to Houston, Indianapolis, Arizona, all interested in DeMeco Ryans, who's very busy this week. And one other note, the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, coaching in the game tonight. No matter what happens, he's scheduled to interview Friday for the head coach of the Denver Broncos.
And we know this job has reinvigorated him, but he's ready. He's ready.
I saw him today walking around the